everyone, and thank you for joining us on this episode of Inspire Africa. I am Jerry Fisayo-Bambi. Coming up on this episode, we'll bring you the story of the solar-powered cook stove invented by a young student in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The pay-as-you-can secondary school in Abuja, Nigeria's capital, providing access to qualitative education to children from low-income households. And later on the show, we meet with Nigeria's Tunde Onakoya, the award-winning chess master, coach, and founder of Chess in Slums Africa. This is Inspire Africa. Let's start off in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo, where a 23-year-old student has designed a cook stove that uses solar power.
An idea that took 6 months to develop has finally come to fruition. This solar-powered cooking stove was made from locally sourced materials in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Abednego Mutombo designed it at the ISTA Technical Institute in Kinshasa.
We want to promote the use of renewable energies and show that we can be able to cook using solar energy. This will help to reduce spending and dependence on firewood. And we need to also preserve our health.
The cooker captures energy from the sun and turns it into heat to cook meals.
The advantage is that it doesn't burn the food because it cooks at normal temperatures between 80 and 90 degrees. We did a waterboarding test and a controlled cooking test.
Le deuxième test, c'était le TCC, donc le test à pression contrôlée.
Charcoal is mainly used to meet the DRC's domestic energy demands, as only 10% of the population has access to electricity. With an abundance of forests, charcoal or fuel wood logging remains the principal source of cooking energy for millions of households and street vendors. Authorities at the ISTA Technical Institute believe Mutombo's solar-powered cooking stove can be a viable alternative.
What we are here to do is to innovate and to find solutions. I think our leaders should go beyond just paying us salaries. We need funds for research.
With an annual average temperature of 25.5 degrees Celsius, getting sunshine needed for Mutombo's cook stove will not be much of a problem in Congo. However, with growing charcoal demand, if the stove is to truly be an alternative, it will have to be affordable enough to break long-held cooking traditions, especially for low-income earners in the country.
A 2022 UNESCO report notes that there are approximately 20 million out-of-school children in Nigeria, despite the combined efforts of government and international development partners. One pay-as-you-can secondary school in Abuja believes they have a role to play to bridge the gap.
Many private entrepreneurs and non-profit in developing countries are launching low-cost private schools to address the staggering number of out-of-school children and those denied access to quality education. The NOSC 100 Naira or 20 cent a day secondary school in Abuja is one of such. NOSC admits students from the age of 9 from low-income households. Irene Bangwell founded the school in 2019 and uses a sponsor-a-child model.
When children come in here on the first day of their JSS1, we guarantee that they have education for 6 years, whether they get a sponsor or not, whether their parents are able to pay the fees or not.
The school mission is to provide quality secondary school education that can enable children further their education and break the cycle of generational poverty.
Nigeria's biggest resource is humans, and education is the one vehicle that pulls out, that potential for all of us to benefit. So my motivation for setting up the NOSC 100 Naira Day School is to ignite children from poor homes, to birth that thing that God put inside of them, so that it can benefit all of us.
The school now has 100 children with about 40 teaching and non-teaching staff. The cost of operations is ensured with sponsors like Abiola Odunusi.
We are supporting boys because we've observed that there are lots of inflow into the girl education, And our belief is that the boys need good education and training as much as the girls. An empowered man will do what is right and will treat the female gender properly.
Parents are happy because during the end of the term, they always check my results and see that I performed well.
Nigeria's legislation only provides for 9 years of free primary and compulsory education. Earlier this year, authorities granted the North School full accreditation, which means their students can now write national exams.
Now, Nigeria's Tunde Onakoya founded Chess in Slum Africa in 2017, a program that takes the game of chess to underprivileged children in impoverished communities. He would go on to record wide acknowledgement and success, notably in Oshodi, Lagos.
There is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about. And these young creatives has found one: chess.
The award-winning chess master and coach now joins me from Lagos, Nigeria. Look, Tunde, what were you thinking about when you decided to create this initiative?
I mean, I always tell people that at the intersection of the privilege that we have and another person's oppression, that is where we find, real opportunities to make change in any society. I was at a place where I was very conflicted on whether I wanted to do this, right? Because like the best years of your youth, you want to commit them to doing something very profitable that could put money in your pocket. But yeah, I was trying to embark on a journey that wasn't going to give me financial success, right? It was an idea that, we could use chess to give children living in the worst slums a new identity, to tell a new narrative, right? By showing the world that, listen, they also have the capacity for thought, right? They have the capacity to learn something that's complex and excel at this. I grew up in a slum community in Lagos called Ikorodu, and we lived in extreme poverty, but chess gave me a lifeline. So 5 years ago, I decided to do the same thing for other children like me, so they can know what they can truly become.
So far, how many children has your initiative granted access to tuition-free education and other opportunities?
We've impacted the lives of over 10,000 children across I think 5 African countries now. We have Kenya, Uganda, Burkina Faso, Nigeria, yeah, of course, and Ghana. So we have a scholarship support program, right, where we support over 300 children, right, a tuition-free scholarship. We partner with the local schools and we pay their tuition. We have a vision. We have a vision to reach 1 million children across Africa.
So what do you do with children who don't think chess is the way?
The truth is, I've never really met a child who didn't like chess. I just think the approach is what really matters, right? And I think maybe that is just even the general problem with our entire educational system. Because, if a child is not learning the way you're teaching them, you have to teach them only in the way that they can learn. And I think what is deeply fascinating about our, innovative approach to educating the minds of young people and empowering their minds using chess as a tool isn't in the chess in itself. Children learn differently. And because of the kind of communities we work with, you see the children are very driven. It's, when children that are born into wealth or have certain privileges, they have a different fight. But for the children in the slums, their own fight is very different. They live the life of survival. And you just give them a modicum of opportunity and you'll be completely astounded by what they can do with it.
Tunde, where does the resounding success of this project leave you?
In the game of chess, there's this piece that is called a pawn. It is the least valuable piece. But then it has this special ability. And when you're able to push it down the board to the final rank, right, it undergoes what we call pawn promotion and it can become a queen. So the story of the pawn, while it has its value is just 1 point, but it has this innate ability to become the queen, which is worth 9 points, which is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. So it's this innate capacity to do so much, but then it needs that push to continue to march down the board. I think this analogy truly reflects the essence, even the success of the Chess in Slums project, that every child can become truly powerful. And time again, we've had these remarkable success stories of children that lived in abject poverty in the slums, getting opportunities, sharing their triumphs with the world, winning tournaments. And this is what brings me fulfillment, because I'm a dreamer. right? And I believe that we need to create an equitable future for everyone. Very few people are solving problems for the children in the slums, right? And we're talking about technology, we're talking about this future. Then if you don't educate them or even give them a semblance of education, they will become a liability to that future. So what brings me fulfillment is knowing that, we're raising a new generation of critical thinkers, even from the slums, where people don't pay attention to, and to help the world really see that it is possible to do great things from a small place.
Well, and I bet that these children have you to thank. Today, I'd like to thank you very much for sharing your story with us on Inspire Africa.
Oh, thank you for having me. All right, bye.
And that's how much we can bring you on this episode of Inspire Africa. I am Jerry Fisayo-Bambi, and I am leaving you with this clip showing a group of men playing what is called the Uriel game in Mayo Island, Cape Verde. Certainly not the game of chess, but equally interesting. Bye-bye.